Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to Washita Valley Farms. Thanks for joining back in today. We're doing a little mowing here on one of Steve's last alfalfa fields. This is the third of three. Finishing this up, and once we get this done, this last little bit, we are going to go hook onto the rake, and we're going to go rake the first two fields that I mowed on Monday. If you'll remember, in the last episode, the very first episode, we went and checked to make sure that the alfalfa was drying down good, and it was. And that was actually that episode was actually yesterday. And then as we went on that episode, we actually went and planted some double crop soybeans. So this episode today, I'm going to do a couple of things. Well, actually three things, I guess. I'm going to clue you guys in on my custom baling rates and how I came up with them and how that's going to work as far as getting paid. And I am also going to rake the first of C's alfalfa, and then we are going to bale. We're going to bale Steve's first two alfalfa fields, and we're going to bale them up in small square bales. So stick around, guys. I think you're going to like this video. I think you're going to like some of the information I give you. Hopefully you'll find it interesting, and it'll give you an idea of how my custom farming enterprise is going to progress. So if you haven't already and you enjoy the content, go ahead and poke that little red tractor down in the bottom right hand corner and subscribe. And we're going to go right down here, hook onto the rake, and get going. Alright guys, we just got hooked up to the rake here, and there was something I was going to show you. The tractor, the 3020's changed a little bit. Yeah, so as you can see, my dad thought it would be a good idea to get a set of ROPS for it, so a rollover protection structure. And while he was at it, he decided to go ahead and get the sunshade. Now, the reason why, there's a couple of reasons why he decided to do this. First is he decided that if my sisters, Catherine and Natalie, or Cat and Nat, as we call them, if they were going to be driving it, that it might be a good idea to get some rollover protection. And then skin cancer actually runs in our family, and so he thought it'd be a pretty good idea to go ahead and at least get some kind of sun protection for those long hot days of being in the field making hay. Now the way he came to this conclusion is, if you'll remember, from a couple episodes ago, the Krieger place. Now he mowed and raked and baled all that hay himself, and it was pretty hot and pretty sunny the whole time he was doing that. So I think that kind of added a little bit of incentive to him, for him to go ahead and get a sunshade. And I got to be honest with you, it kind of clashes. You know, the bright green and the bright yellow kind of clashes with the patina of the tractor. But honestly, it's pretty nice having a sunshade. So I'm not too sure about the clashing paint, but the sunshade sure is nice. All right, so as we go head to the first couple alfalfa fields, there's something I wanted to talk to you about. I thought some of you might find it kind of interesting, and that is my custom farming rates. Now, if you'll remember, I won the contract for all of Steve's hay work this year. And so that includes any grass he might want to have cut, that includes any straw he might want to have baled, and that includes his alfalfa that we're working on right now. And when I started trying to figure out how I wanted to price my rates, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. You can either price everything into the bale, which means you price cutting the hay, raking the hay, and baling the hay all into that one bale of hay. So you've got a percentage of your money that it takes to mow the crop, a percentage of the money that it takes to rake the crop, and a percentage of the money that it takes to bale the crop, all wrapped up in each bale of hay or straw or whatever it may be. Now that's one way to do it. However, what I've decided to do, and this is sort of along the lines of what a lot of people are kind of starting to do these days, is I am actually going to be charging per acre that's mowed, per acre that's raked, and then the baling charge will be by the bale. So what that's going to kind of look like is, so for example, for mowing an acre of hay or an acre of alfalfa or whatever the case may be, whatever the crop might be, so for every acre of crop that I mow, I'm going to charge the person $16. Now that $16 includes the wear and tear on my tractor, or Dad's tractor in this case. Includes the wear and tear on the mower. It includes my time. It includes the consumables, things like fuel, grease, sickle sections, etc. So all that's wrapped up in that $16 per acre charge. Now for raking, I'm going to be charging $4 an acre. Now there again, it's got some wear and tear on the tractor, and some wear and tear on the rake, and the consumables involved in raking the hay. And lastly, so there's a few different charges for baling, of course, because I've got a small square baler and I've got a round baler, 4 foot wide round baler. And so the charge per bale for small square bales, doesn't matter if it's grass or straw or alfalfa or whatever it is, the price per bale charge for small square bales is going to be $1.25 per bale. So for every small square that my baler shoots out while I'm working for somebody, it's going to be $1.25. Now, I don't really want to get into the custom square bale hauling business. I'm not really interested in that because I'm just one man and my sister helps me some. And I don't know if you guys saw the episode where I baled Steve's straw and Kat and I hauled it all. That was not fun. That was not cool. I'm not excited about doing that again. But in the case that somebody really needs me to, just haul a few small square bales, it's going to cost them 50 cents per each bale to haul them out of the field and stack them in their barn or wherever it is they want stacked. So $1.25 to make the square bale and 50 cents to haul the square bale. So now that moves onto round bales, and right now all I've made is 4 foot by 4 foot, so 4 foot wide and 4 foot tall round bales. That's all I've made so far. Now I know that Dad wants to make a bigger bale because he doesn't want to make as many bales, so he would like to make more like a 5 foot bale, or he would really like to make a 6 foot bale. But we're just going to kind of have to see what my baler can make. How tall of a bale that it's able to make with any kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Not efficiency, consistency. So right now I've made 4 foot by 4 foot bales, and so that's what I've got priced for. So right now, a 4 foot by 4 foot bale, and remember, this is just the baling charge. This is just to make the bale. It's going to cost $10.50 per bale. And so that's a little bit of wear and tear on the tractor that's in that bale, charge. That's that includes the things like the net wrap for the bale, and that includes my time, the diesel it takes to make that bale, all that sort of stuff. And then I haven't done any yet, but if somebody wants me to haul some round bales for the 4 foot by 4 foot, and probably for the 4x6s as well, or 4x5s or whatever they might want me to make. So that's going to cost $5 per bale. So to recap here, cutting per acre is going to be $16 an acre. Raking per acre is going to be $4 an acre. Small square baling is going to be $1.25 a bale. Small square hauling is going to be 50 cents a bale. 4 foot by 4 foot round bale making, so baling, is $10.50 a bale, and 4 by 4 or just round bale hauling basically is going to be $5 a bale. There's Kurt's operation as we just go by. So I just thought you guys might kind of like to know how I'm going to be pricing my services, I think, from here on out, and just kind of what that looked like. And I'll talk to you a little more here in a little while, and kind of give you an idea of why I decided to do it like that. Alright, so this here on the left, this is the first field that I mowed. So we're gonna rake this one first and bale this one first. It looks pretty good. I drove by here on my way home and I checked it out, and I kind of moved some of this hay around, and it's all pretty dry. I think by the time I get it raked up and I kind of roll it over, it's going to be plenty good to go. I think we'll probably start kind of over here in this corner. I'm going to go ahead and get the rake unfolded here. Hopefully this works all right. I know it worked pretty good for Dad whenever when he raked his hay there on the Krieger place. Hope that I've got it adjusted correctly. Alright, so let's get this going. As always, I've got the drone with me, so you're probably going to get to see some drone footage. If you guys like the drone footage, if you enjoy that, please be sure and leave a comment. If you have suggestions or things you'd rather see different, please leave a comment for that too, because I really want to know what you guys think. Alright, let's get it on. Boy, this field is rough. I noticed it when I was mowing it that, man, these for hay fields, these things sure are rough compared to some of the pastures that I've been running in. You would think that a pasture would be rougher because it never gets worked. It always just it's got gopher mounds and badger holes and coyote holes and whatever else, but man, this thing is much rougher than any of the pastures I've been in so far. I'm gonna have to ask Steve what his deal is, if he's trying to beat me to death or what. As you can see, there's a little bit of grass around the outside of this field that I probably got into here on the outside round when I mowed it. So wouldn't be too surprised if there's a little bit of a there's a few kind of mixed grass bales here on the outside round, and that's, I mean, that's fairly typical in a field, you know, hay fields, wheat field, whatever. Typically your outside edges, your outside round or your couple of outside rounds, whatever the case may be, they're going to be the ones that really have your weeds in them, that have, you know, commingled, you know, weeds, grass, whatever in them. They're going to be your least clean areas of the field, typically. But overall, this was a pretty good, pretty consistent stand of alfalfa. I thought whenever I was mowing it. Steve doesn't have as much as he used to as far as alfalfa goes, but he definitely has some good alfalfa. He knows how to grow it. You know, I've talked to you in the past about Kurt having scaled back his farming operation. Well, Steve's kind of the same way. Steve's probably even more so. I think he just farms to have something to do anymore, to be honest with you. But yeah, his alfalfa is well known for being some good stuff in the area. He used to grow, you know, a couple hundred acres of stuff, but anymore he just kind of, like I said, he just kind of builds for the fun of it, or grows it for the fun of it. He also used to, you know, bale all his own stuff as well, but I think he just kind of got tired of working on the balers, just kind of got tired of you know, having to stay up late, bale in the middle of the night, bale early in the mornings. He's kind of in his twilight years, I guess you could say. So it's worked out well. Steve and I had a bit of a rocky start. If you don't know, you can go back and look at some previous episodes about how we kind of got together and this whole thing started. But yeah, if you want to go back a few episodes ago, I think the hay baling showdown or the round bale showdown or something like that is a good video to watch that kind of explains. Then in the videos that are I don't know, the 3 or 4 videos prior to that kind of explain the whole situation. But yeah, since then Steve's kind of I don't know. I think he's realized that I'm in this to win it, and I'm not just you know, that was kind of that hay baling showdown, that was sort of a put up or shut up moment, and I definitely put up, and he saw that. So I think I gained some respect, which is good. All right, that's enough chit chat for now. We're going to go to the drone. Enjoy, guys and gals. All right, guys, that finishes up the first field here. We're gonna scoot on over to that next field. I believe that I can just go down here, right over here, and just hop across the ditch, because the ditch is not very it's not very steep right here. And we're gonna get started in this corner. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll get started in this corner here. So, I have a feeling that this is going to be a pretty lucrative hay contract here. And I just hope that I do a good job. And Steve wants me to continue. He wants me to continue baling his hay next year. That would be pretty outstanding. That'd be pretty awesome if he would let me keep baling for him after this after the contract this year is up. Judging by the size of these windrows and how dense this hay is, I think this is going to be a pretty good deal here. Now that field that we just finished mowing at the beginning of this episode, that's actually going to get round baled. He wanted that in 4x4 round bales. Oh, I think I just saw Steve pull up to the gate. I better turn around and go see what he's up to. Hey Steve, how's it going? What do you think?
Well, I think it's looking pretty good. Drying up nice. Seems like you've figured out how to get along with that old sickle mower.
Yeah, you know, Steve, it's not a bad mower. You know, it's really not worn out, and even though it's old, it really works pretty good. Only problem is that it's narrow and it just takes a while to get many acres cut.
Well, baby steps, youngster. Baby steps. When you're on this place next year, I expect you'll have something bigger and better.
Well, thanks, Steve. I appreciate that.
What's old Kurt got going on next door?
Well, I'm not sure. When I drove by a little while ago with the rake, I think I saw one of his side shields on his combine open. So I'm guessing he's broke down, but I'm not sure what's going on.
Oh, yeah? It's getting to where I don't want to wrench on anything anymore. My combine ran pretty smooth through all the wheat this year, and I still have half a mind to get rid of it and let somebody else do the work.
Oh, yeah? You don't say, Steve. You think about getting rid of your combine?
Oh, now hold on there, youngster. I see the wheels turning in that mind of yours. I don't have any old combine sitting in the weeds. You just forget about it. I better go see if I can give Kurt a hard time. I mean a hand with his lame deer. I'll stop back by when you get to baling.
All right, Steve. Well, thanks for stopping. We'll see you later. On the drive over here, I explained, you know, sort of the custom baling rates that I had come up with. Let me explain a little bit for those of you who are interested, how I came up with those, and then why I decided to go that route versus just the all-inclusive per bale price that a lot of people have used in the past. So the way I came up with those prices is actually, I live here in Oklahoma. If you don't know, we're in Oklahoma here, the Washita Valley. And so the way I came up with those is Oklahoma State University, which is actually the university that I attend. I was, for those of you who don't know, I was a freshman at Oklahoma State this last year. And so Oklahoma State is an agriculture college, or a land grant college. So they're an ag school. And So part of their agriculture extension program is every year they take a survey across the state and they survey people and they ask, okay, what was your custom combining rates? What were your trucking rates that go along with that custom combining? What are your custom planting rates? Or your custom seeding rates if you're pulling, a grain drill? What are your custom hay rates? What are your custom hay rates if you break it down into mowing, raking, and baling versus all-inclusive baling? What are your hay hauling charges? What are those rates? So they take this survey, right? And I think it's pretty much every year they take it. And so then they compile, they tabulate the data, and they compile the results, and that's actually on a website that anybody can go and look at. And that just gives contractors like me who are doing the work, and that gives people who need the work done for them, whatever that type of agriculture work might be, that gives them an idea of across the state what are the rates that are current, what's fair, what's not fair. And that just kind of helps everybody out. It gives an idea of what the going rate is, so to speak, and just make sure everybody's sort of playing on the level. Now, that's and I'll include down in the comments of this video. I'll give you a link to the Oklahoma State Extension website where you guys can go and take a look for yourselves. So why did I decide to do that versus just the per bale rates? So the thing is that some people are better stewards of the land than others. Some farmers are better stewards of the land than others. Some farmers care more than other farmers. Some farmers have more money to spend on things like fertilizer and lime than other farmers have. Therefore, 5 acres, let's just use 5 acres for example, or 10 acres, let's say 10 acres. Okay, 10 acres for one farmer, that might make, let's say, 100 ground bales. Okay, just for round numbers. Let's say that 10 acres for one farmer may make 100 ground bales, right? Well, that 10 acres for another farmer might make 200 ground bales. Okay? So, if I use a per bale charge instead of breaking it down into cutting, raking, and baling, if I just do a straight, this is the dollar amount that it's going to cost you per bale. I still have to mow those 10 acres or cut those 10 acres. I still have to rake all of those 10 acres. So I still have the time on my mower. I still have the wear and tear on my rake. But for one farmer, I only get paid for 100 bales. For another farmer, I get paid for 200 bales. And I have no control over that if I price it as a per bale rate. I have no control over whether the farmer puts down fertilizer at the right time or not. I have no control over whether the farmer sprays his fields for weeds or not. So by charging a fee per acre that I cut and charging a fee per acre that I rake, that removes the variables in the equation that I cannot control. Because if that farmer doesn't take care of his land, if he doesn't take care of his crop, and those 10 acres only makes 100 bales, well, hey, I still get paid for mowing all 10 of them the same. I still get paid for raking all 10 of them the same. And then, you know what? If that 10 acres only makes 100 bales of hay, well, you know what? I've only used 100 bales worth of net wrap, and chances are I've been able to move through the field a little quicker whenever I'm baling because the hay is thinner. So I hope that kind of explains, and it kind of helps you understand why I chose to go the way of charging the way that I have. All right, everybody. I think this is it's just gonna be about it for this video. Now, I know I said that we were gonna get to some baling during this video as well, but the more I think about it and the longer it has taken to get this raked, I think that I'm just gonna cut this video off here and save the baling for the next episode. I do have to say that aside from just once in a while, when I turn pretty hard one way or the other, this rake works so much better than it did the first time that I used it. You know, when I adjusted it, it works so much better. I don't hit the windrows that I've already been across much anymore at all, just once in a while, and it saves me so much time. So with the field across the road over there and this field, we've just raked right about 20 acres, and man, it would have taken, I bet it would have taken triple the time that it just took with that old rake. So guys, thanks for tagging along. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something about custom farming rates, and maybe you can go up and look up your local ag college and your ag extension service and see what the custom rates for in your area or your state. So guys, tune in for the next episode when we are going to be baling for dollars. Thanks a lot for following me along, and guys, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, I would appreciate the like. If you haven't already, subscribe. And if you guys have comments or questions, please let me know, because I love seeing you guys' comments and getting the notification that I have a new comment on a video. So thanks, guys. We'll catch you next time.